Why smart buyers are quietly shopping right now. The winter advantage. Everyone says spring is the best time to buy a home. That's what you hear on the news, on YouTube, from friends, even from agents who repeat the same seasonal cliches year after year. But what if I told you right now, yes, this quiet stretch between November and February might actually be the smartest time of the entire year to buy a home? Here in the Roseville, Rocklin, and Granite Bay area, winter isn't slow, it's strategic. It's quieter, sure, but quieter is where the opportunity hides. When most buyers hit pause, the few who stay active often land the best homes, the best terms, and the least competition. I'm Jason Flory with Turn the Key Real Estate, and today I'm breaking down why winter gives buyers the upper hand and how to turn that seasonal slowdown into a serious financial advantage. Let's start with what the data actually says. According to Placer County Association of Realtors, our region currently sits at around 2.7 months of inventory. For context, a balanced market is usually around 4 to 6 months. So yes, technically, we're still in a seller's market, but here's where the nuance comes in. Buyer activity drops almost 30% between November and January. That means fewer showing requests, fewer bidding wars, and sellers who are far more flexible. In other words, the same 2.7 months of supply feels very different in the winter than it does in April. When fewer buyers are competing, your leverage multiplies. If you've been watching from the sidelines, waiting for the prices to drop, they usually don't drop dramatically, but your ability to negotiate improves. You can get credits, repairs, or seller-paid interest rate buydowns that would never fly once the spring surge begins. Here's what that looks like in real life. During the busy season, say April through June, homes priced correctly in Roseville might sell in 10 to 20 days, sometimes with multiple offers. In winter, those same homes often sit 50 to 65 days. That's not because they're flawed, it's because fewer buyers are touring and even fewer are writing offers. The extra time on market is your window of opportunity. Sellers start to feel the clock. They're thinking about carrying costs, insurance, property taxes, and possibly double payments if they've already bought their next home. That's when you can step in and craft terms that favor you. Lower price, more concessions, extended inspection periods, or even a home sale contingency accepted without the drama. I've personally negotiated more credits and buydowns in Q4 than in any other quarter of the year. It's the one season where logic outweighs emotion for the sellers. Let me give you a real story from right here in Roseville. Last December, one of my clients found a beautiful home in West Roseville listed around $740,000. It had been sitting for nearly 2 months with minimal activity. We wrote a great offer, asked for a 2-1 buydown, and negotiated $8,000 in closing costs covered by the seller. The seller was thrilled to wrap things up before Christmas. My client closed under list price and saved thousands of dollars in upfront costs. Now fast forward 3 months, the exact floor plan down the street sold for $35,000 more in 3 days with competing offers and no concessions. Same builder, same square footage, same neighborhood, just different timing. That's the definition of a quiet win. You're not just buying a home, you're buying leverage. And leverage is what separates lucky buyers from strategic ones. Now let's talk about interest rates, because that's the elephant in the room. Now rates are sitting in the low 6% range, depending on credit, loan type, and down payment. That's a big improvement from the high 7s and low 8s we saw last year. I hear people say, I'm waiting for rates to hit 5% before I buy. Let me tell you, if rates hit 5%, the entire buyer pool comes off the bench overnight. Every pre-approved buyer who's been waiting jumps in at once, creating the same chaos we saw in 2021. Prices adjust faster than rates. A half a point in rates might save you $200 a month. But if that causes prices to climb $30,000, your payment ends up higher anyways. So the question isn't what's the lowest rate I can get, it's when can I buy with the most leverage? And that answer is right now. Here's why sellers are offering temporary buydowns and seller-paid concessions. I'm seeing 2-1 buydowns, and actually we even saw a 3-2-1 buydown recently, where your first year rate starts around 4%, then gradually steps up. Pair that with a refinance in a year or two when rates slide again, and you've won both battles: purchase price and long-term payment. Let's zoom in on the local markets, because Placer County isn't one monolithic market. It's a collection of micro markets. It's with each behaving differently. Roseville remains the most active city in the region. Its combination of newer construction in Fittyman Farm and West Park, plus established neighborhoods like Johnson Ranch and Stone Ridge, means there's something for every buyer. During winter, average days on market sits around 40 days. By April, that number drops to about 28, but the average sale price rises roughly 3%. If you buy now, you're capturing that 3% before it even happens. Rocklin has become a relocation magnet, especially for Bay Area buyers. Each spring, there's a predictable wave of families moving east for schools and quality of life. That surge fuels multiple offer situations in Whitney Ranch, Stanford Ranch, and Sunset West. Shopping in winter lets you sidestep that wave completely. You can tour homes without a crowd, negotiate calmly, and even request credits that would be laughed off in May. Granite Bay is unique. Inventory there stays limited year-round, but during winter, luxury listings linger longer, simply because the higher-end buyer pool shrinks while people travel or pause for tax planning. That's why we've seen six-figure negotiating wins, $100,000 price reductions, seller-paid pools being resurfaced, or full furniture packages included just to get the deal closed. You can't pull that off in the peak season. So why doesn't everyone buy in the winter? Simple. It's perception. People think winter equals dead market. They imagine cold weather, slower sales, less selection. But let me show you the flip side. Winter inventory may be smaller, but it's higher quality. Most winter sellers aren't testing the market. Genuine reason to sell: job relocation, divorce, financial change, or their next home is already in escrow. That motivation translates directly to flexibility for you. And the buyers who remain active, they're focused. They're not browsing for fun. They're serious about closing. That makes transactions smoother, communication clear, and negotiations faster. So yes, there might be fewer listings, but the listings that remain are real opportunities. Let's talk psychology for a second. Buying a home isn't purely financial, it's emotional. In spring, emotion drives the market. FOMO takes over. You start hearing, we have to offer $20,000 over or we'll lose it. In winter, logic returns. When logic drives decision making, you avoid overpaying and end up with terms that truly fit your goals. It's the same principle I used to teach back in my fitness days. If you train when everyone else is resting, you gain an edge that they can't replicate later. In real estate, winter is your training season. Quieter, focused, intentional. It's when disciplined buyers build wealth. Now let's make this practical. What can you actually do right now to capitalize? Step 1. Get pre-approved. Even if you're planning to buy early next year, start the process today. A strong pre-approval gives you confidence and buying power. Many lenders can lock a rate for 60 to 90 days and even float it down if rates improve before closing. Step 2, build your watch list. I can pull up active listings in Roseville, Rocklin, and Granite Bay that have been on the market for 45 days plus, or that show recent price reductions. That's where the leverage lives. Roughly 1 in 5 homes in Roseville right now has had a price cut. That's your signal. Step 3 is negotiate creatively. Don't just chase the sticker price. Ask for rate buydowns, seller credits, or maybe prepaid HOA dues. You'll be amazed how flexible sellers become when they see a ready buyer who can close before the end of the year. Step 4, use your inspection window wisely. Slower market means inspectors, appraisers, and contractors aren't booked out for weeks. You can get quotes, negotiate repairs, and truly understand what you're buying instead of racing the clock. Step 5, think long term. Your first win is in the purchase. Your second win is in the refinance. Buy smart now, then optimize later when the market swings again. That's how you play both sides like a pro. Now let's widen the lens even further. Placer County remains one of California's most desirable migration zones. Families are moving here from the Bay Area for affordability, safety, and lifestyle. Companies are expanding hybrid work, which allows more professionals to live farther from corporate offices. That trend keeps long-term demand steady, even if short-term activity slows. So while other parts of California see population decline, Placer County continues to attract new residents, meaning long-term home values remain strong. When you buy in winter, you're stepping into a market that still has strong fundamentals, but temporarily lower demand. That's a rare overlap. If you've ever wished you could rewind time before prices climbed, this is as close as you'll get without a time machine. Now, let's be clear, not every home is a deal just because it's winter. You still have to evaluate each property carefully. Look for price reductions, longer days on market, and motivated listing remarks. Phrases like seller will contribute towards rate buy down or vacant. Those are golden flags. As a buyer, your job is to align with an agent who can spot those opportunities, analyze the comps, and position your offer strategically. That's where I come in. When we work together, we look at 3 key metrics for every property. Time on market. The longer it's been listed, the more leverage you have. List to sale ratio. Whether sellers are overpricing or aligning with the trends. Inventory velocity. How quickly similar homes are selling in that micro area. That combination lets us determine exactly how far to push while keeping your offer strong enough to get accepted. Here's the takeaway. Winter isn't the off season, it's the strategic season. The serious buyers, the ones who understand timing, data, and psychology, they're not waiting for April. They're writing offers right now, locking in homes below spring pricing, and setting themselves up to refinance later when the rates do ease. Meanwhile, the wait and see crowd, they'll be back in a few months, fighting over the same homes for more money. You get to decide which group you're in. If you're ready to take advantage of this market, let's talk. I'll show you which neighborhoods have motivated sellers, where the best days on market gaps are, and how to negotiate smarter, not harder. Use the link below to book a quick call, and let's map out your 2025 buying strategy before everyone else wakes up. I'm Jason Flory with Turn the Key Real Estate, helping buyers find hidden opportunities when the market's asleep.